What up, YouTube? It's been a minute. I'm gonna check out this Kevin Samuels video. It says, "Are women lazy daters?" See what you gotta say.
Dating on purpose. If you weren't living in Miami, where would you live?
Detroit, Michigan, or
Oh,
Atlanta.
Detroit.
Girl said Detroit,
For a
Michigan.
long time now. I'm from Ohio, but I spent a lot of time.
Detroit?
She a reformed
Are you
street chick.
serious? Why Detroit?
It reminds me of the urban city. I'm from Ohio too.
From the hood. I told you.
Detroit City, I'm from.
I don't know about that one.
Oh my
I'm a
god.
Midwest man in general, so
Welcome to Detroit, where the river catches on fire and shit like that. Oh
it
my,
is a dark place, but I was. But anyways, I'm moving to it.
Atlanta. Now you know Atlanta is 17-1. Yeah, 17-1.
So
17.
what you telling me it's gonna be harder out there? I don't want to hear that. 17 women.
17 women to
I-
one man. Yeah.
I think a lot of women don't understand that.
Straight.
I think a lot of people don't understand that.
Straight, gay, or whatever.
All of them. It's
Fact of the matter is, see, I guess this ultimately what I'm saying is if you're serious about getting the outcome you want, here's my thing. When it comes to dating, why don't you ladies think about the math or the numbers? But just think about like what it is you want and the likelihood of getting it.
why is because what you said earlier, we're late to dating.
I know that.
You're saying why? I found out why. I've been lazy. I haven't been actively seeking for what I want until like very recently. So I know exactly what I want now. So I gotta
See,
kind of.
So have you ever thought that finding a man was going to be hard and it takes a lot of goddamn work?
It does take a lot of work. The more selective that you are.
But did you think it was going to be hard?
This is something that we see often, you guys. It's this entitlement. She said, it's very selective when you know the type of man that you want. And here's the deal: is like, of course, this is where the whole high value man thing idea came from. Is a lot of women coming and talking about this, and it just doesn't end. It never ends. But here's something that I'm about to say is really important. What kind of life does the woman want to live? Does she want to go get a van and go live off on some Chris McAllister shit, travel the world like a fucking hand pander or some shit? You know what I mean? Like, does she want to be a traveling artist? Does she want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, does she want to move to Detroit, Michigan as her ideal dream spot? A man making the kind of money that you want, that a lot of these women want, what the fuck is he doing in Detroit, Michigan? What is he doing in Detroit, Michigan? Now I understand what you're saying. Okay. Oh, well, there are people that are doing it. There are people out there that are doing it. Well, guess what? The men that you're looking for, you weren't paying attention to, weren't looking at them when they were in their prime, or when they were not in their prime, when they were actually working to get to that stage, right? They were in college. Probably, sophomore in college. Maybe just getting out of high school or something. You might have met them in school. I'm sure what a lot of these women don't say is they don't ever really talk about their high school people. And it's like there are so many examples. Man, my own high school, I swear, it feels, except one. I can only think of one black guy. One black guy. There were actually a lot of black guys at my school. Only one out of like 20, literally 20, is with a black woman. And it's not to say that they didn't want or dated black women at that time. But it's like the type of woman she is now ready for the type of man that these men were when they were younger. When she was not looking at them. When she wanted the trapper. The rapper or whatever. And so, not to say that time is up for you, but you say it's hard. Well, yeah, it's really fucking hard. And it's like, I don't know. I'm not saying to give up, but shit, maybe you got to compensate. Do something you didn't plan on doing before.
I did not think it was gonna be hard. I'm like, oh, he'll come find me.
Why? Why?
Because it was so easy to get niggas when he was younger.
Absolutely. I've always thought that, and I do think about the numbers, and that becomes kind of us. That's where fear starts playing the fact. When I know the numbers are scarce, especially being selective as I am, I know that it's harder for me to find what I want So then it's not about being lazy. It's just I just give up. Like I don't need it.
In all honesty, though, the truth about this male population, female population thing, I think it's actually more men in the world than it is women. I actually think that, you know what, because I actually looked that stat up, and I'm gonna look it up right now again. So let's see here. Look at this. It says according to the ratio of 2021, there are 3.97 billion men on the planet. About 4 billion men on the planet. I think what Kevin Simmons does talk about how, or not even just Kevin Simmons, but like just in this, the manosphere, the red pill space, what they've said is that the hypergamy, what that defines is that every female wants the top 10% of men, the top 10, like the top 10 financially, physically, like the creme de la creme, which makes sense in the terms of evolution and biology and propagating the species. Of course, she wants to pass on her genes, bear a child with someone that has amazing genetics and some money to back it up. But when every woman is going for that kind of guy, the top 10%, that's when it does get a little scarce, because you're not looking at the other guys. You know, every woman knows exactly what that they want in their mind. And so let's just imagine, right? Let's imagine there's 100 guys in a room and 100 girls in a room. And let's say somebody was like, every woman, I want you to imagine the type of man, describe the qualities, imagine it, picture it. And if we could physically see their thought bubbles, I'm willing to bet you that overwhelmingly 75 to 85% of the women will have pretty much the same kind of guy, at least description wise. Maybe not race wise or anything like that, but I'm talking about like description, characteristics, and attributes. They're probably going to all match the same. And so that ideal that is common between all those women, out of 100 guys, is probably maybe generously, maybe 15% of the guys. So 20 or 15 out of those 100 guys fit that mold that 85% of the women want. And so when you think about it on those numbers like that, 75 to 85 women are fighting for 20 guys. That's where this idea, I think, is what they're talking about, of it being really hard to find the kind of guy that women want because of that fact right there, you know? Every woman has the same idea, and if the guy turns himself into something that's really good and that's really attractive, shit, a lot of the girls are looking at him too, you know?
Then you only get older.
Yeah.
You get older because y'all ain't already in the what?
Danger zone!
27 to 35, but why didn't you think, okay, if you want, what kind of car do you drive? You have a car?
Yeah, I have 2 cars.
All right, finding the kind of car you want, is it easy or hard?
I got
Finding
2 cars,
color,
you know, I'm doing my shit.
If you had the kind of money to buy the car you want, could you just go to the first car dealership and find it?
No.
Why not?
Easy.
Why?
Because if it's exactly what you want, like I built my car.
Oh. Okay.
I can't build my man.
But the point is, you knew what you were looking for when you built your car.
Exactly.
But you had to get the money and the credit and everything else, and then you had to figure out.
Well, hold on. Kevin's getting to a good point, but let's talk about the fact that she said she built her car, right? But she can't build her man. You can. You actually can. But she didn't want to put the work in. It takes a lot of fucking work. It's just like when you look up any kind of DIY YouTube video, like a lot of stuff that goes wrong with your car, you can do it yourself. But you know what? You pay a premium to go to a mechanic so that they can do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, when it comes to like some engine stuff, some real specialized like mechanical, technical shit, yeah, you should go to a professional with that. But I learned how to change my car's alternator by looking at a YouTube video. And it worked just fine. I had to put the belt on, had to go to AutoZone to get the wrenches, had to get the fucking... It took fucking like 2 days. It took like 2 days to finish doing it. But I did it. I saved my $75, $80, right? And was it worth it? Hell the fuck yes it was. Because I knew what it took to... I know what it takes now to like do something like that. And it's like, when it comes to the man, you don't want to build a man. How do you build a man? Well, first you need to go get a man that has potential, has quality, right? And then you need to find out what that man wants. You need to find out what that man likes. You need to find out what that man is capable of. You need to learn his weaknesses. You need to learn his strengths. You need to know what his motivation is. You need to know what he likes. You need to know how to please the guy. And it's like it's a lot of work, right? And it's like you just want the guy to just fit the bill. Well, I mean, not saying that it's not out, it won't happen, but there's a lot of work that goes into two people really becoming one. If that makes sense, getting on the same path, get on the same trajectory. And I think that's where Kevin was suggesting is like, all right, go ahead and go pay for the matchmaker. Go get the matchmaker. Go pay for it. Go get the therapy. Go do this and that. But that's not enough. Like, therapy's cool, but that's not enough. Honestly, like, the solutions that Kevin Samuels just gives, it's kind of like the medical industry, how they'll just ease the symptoms but never cure the actual disease. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think therapy is a great step, but that's not the end. Man, we can go all day with this shit, bro.
Figure out what it is and decide I'm not going to just go to the dealership or the lot or the paper or whatever. It's better to build it. If you know that about finding a car, why do y'all think finding a man that's even more valuable is less complicated? Good question. Finding a man is not supposed to be easy.
That was a great question.
Have you ever had trouble
that's what I just said.
having guys approach you?
No.
Look at that. Like girls love this shit. She's like, nah, I don't have no problem with guys coming up to me. I get it. And this is one of the issues. This is what happens. So a lot of, like, what women don't understand is that if you have undisciplined, when you have a smorgasbord, it's like a person going to a fucking buffet and there's just so many good foods coming your way. Like, you got a golden ticket to a prime fucking, like, restaurant where it's just a buffet. You can have your fill of any and all foods. And if you just keep eating the great foods that you love, you can get fat. If you don't put the work in, you can get fat from that. Now, the same doesn't happen. It's obviously not so, like, physical and overt when it comes to dating and having sex and stuff like that. But your emotions, spiritually and stuff like that, when you have a lot of people, like, inside you or bodies, it's not as, like, overt as, like, a big belly or something like that. But it actually makes a difference later on in life, you guys. Like, it really does. And so a lot of women that don't have discipline around the way that they, engage with men, we're not as stupid as you. Yeah, we are. Never mind. A lot of guys are pretty fucking dumb. Never mind. But the guys that you're looking for, they're not dumb. They have their antennas up there a lot of the times.
Approaching me for the actual purpose of dating, yes. Some of them approach for something else.
What do you mean?
Intentions.
Girl, she capping. Most niggas approach for that shit.
No. This is what. Okay. Do you ladies understand, to us, dating equals sex?
Yes. So I had a good analogy with the cars to, like, still answer the question.
Okay.
If you see a real nice looking shiny car, it's a sports car, you want to drive it fast. Like,
yeah.
You're not like, oh, is this car gonna last me long term? Is it gonna have my kids in it?
Car
seat. You wanna drive that car fast. You wanna get on 95. If it look good, you wanna see what it can do.
So and that's a good analogy.
But you don't go to the car dealership to test.
No. We ain't gonna let that slide. No. I'm gonna go ahead and address that real quick. That's a great analogy that she just said. She said, okay, when we're comparing men to cars, when it's a fast car, you want to drive that car fast. You don't want to take your time with the car. You don't want to go slow with the car. You want to drive that car fast. And so what she means is, when I see a prime guy who's got the money, got the fucking body, we fucking immediately, right? But if it's a guy that's like more of like a Lexus or a Toyota, you know what I'm saying? A really reliable car that's going to get you to where you need to go for a long time. Nah, we're gonna drive that a little slow. We're gonna take that one a little slow. So all the stuff that we done gave to the Ferrari, the car like that, we as soon as we get into it, we drive fast. So that athlete, that guy, that whatever that we fucked on a first date or second date, Nah, that ain't gonna happen with this guy. For this actual stable guy. Nah, we ain't gonna do that with him. You know why? Because it's a little risky doing that. So I don't wanna just give it up just too soon yet. You know, I wanna drive this slow. And you know what? If that Toyota or if that Lexus, whatever, could talk, I'd be like, what? It's actually good for my engine to. It's actually great for my engine to drive it fast every now and then. Yeah, like I need to be driven like that. That's why I have a V8 engine inside me. That's why I have this. That's why I have all this power, this torque inside me. You know what? You're not a good driver. I know. You know what? I saw how you drove. You test drive that McLaren next to me. Like, because we all talk. All of us cars, we talk. All of us guys, we talk. So, he told me what you did. And so, you're telling me I have to work 3-4 times as hard to get what he got? Nah. Ain't having that shit. Fuck that. That's why it's so tough. That's why it's so tough for these women. Like, that explains it right there. That was a great analogy she gave.
Test drive. That's a rental. See, I'm talking about
Yeah. So
when someone goes to get a sports car, they take more care of it than they take care of a rental. You're talking about how a rental is handled. If you wanted to have a McLaren, you would not dog out a McLaren if you're paying for it. Now, people may dog it out if you're renting it. See, what we're trying to understand, folks, is the difference between how men and women look at the dating market. We look at it completely different. Guys, we already know we look at it from a cost-benefit standpoint. And women, especially the more attractive women, look at it from an abundance standpoint. And when it comes right down to it, I don't think that works for you guys long term. Because you say it's hard to find somebody not hard to get somebody to approach you. It's hard to get the kind of buyers you want interested in buying.
Yeah, approaching with purpose.
Well, all right. Well, let's do it this way. If you were a car, how would you sell you to the kind of car, the driver you want?
Gotta be able to sell yourself for the buyer that you're looking for.
Well, do you guys do that though?
Sometimes, no.
If you want a market who is men to buy you, you got to actively sell yourself to the kind and caliber of market you want. You got to make it inviting. When you went to buy your car, they make it easy for you to do business, or they treat you badly?
No,
I let them finish.
When you show interest.
Oh, okay. All right. So you mean you came in and they didn't say, why are you here? Did they smile at you? They had a product to sell. You were a buyer. When you came on the lot, they said, hey, how you doing? They were welcoming. They offered you something to drink, and they did all this stuff. Do you treat the men you want like the car dealership treated you when you went to buy a car?
No.
Well, goddamn.
No.
Why not?
I don't think I do. I don't think I do. You don't treat them welcoming and nice. No, sometimes I don't because I have my reasons why I'm not. Why? I don't, and I probably shouldn't.
Why? So what about the car dealership?
The reason why is because she done fucked so many motherfuckers. She done been around the block so much that she's been traumatized from all the shit because she had no sexual discipline, and now she's jaded from the world. She don't trust a lot of men. So even the guys that come with the right intentions that could have taken her to the place that she wanted to get to, she can't recognize it because she's so traumatized from the fucking lack of discipline. And I may be wrong, but more often than not, if you're a very attractive woman, right? If you've had more than like 5 people you've been intimate with, dare say 10, you know what I'm saying? This is going to be your issue. Hell, I know a 20-year-old woman has an OnlyFans already. She's got like 100,000 subscribers on fucking, or followers on Instagram and shit like that, you guys. Like, my homie, he like 32, 33, 34, some shit like that. Smashed her once, but she's fucking weird. Like, he even considered, he was like, you know what, she might be someone on my wife. You'd be surprised. A lot of these guys actually would be okay looking past a lot of these faults. It's just the fact that a lot of women, and Kevin don't get to this point, is that when women are actually entertaining some of these guys, women don't ask the questions. And not only do they not ask the questions, let's say they do ask the questions. They're not willing to give the man what he wants. They're not. Like, if the man says what he wants, like, hey, I want threesome. Hey, I want foursome. Hey, whatever. You have all the right in the world to say you don't want that. But you are running the risk of going back out there and not finding another person kind of like that. I mean, you will, but it's like a lot of guys, we know what we take seriously. We know what to take seriously and what not to take serious. You know what I'm saying? Especially with all this shit out here. Dr. Dre had to give $100 million to his ex-wife. Like, god damn, there's so much that goes on. Regardless of whether or not it's right or wrong, this is what's happening on the men's side. This is affecting men. Women have to take this into consideration. If you don't, you're just going to be out here lost and become bitter when you get older. Because why ain't no God taking me serious? Why ain't no God? Because you fail to learn about the guy. You fail to understand what he wants, to give him what he needs, you know? And then on the other end, some of the guys may not be able to express that too. But if you are the woman that's dating for the purpose and this guy has the potential, a lot of potential for it, then you should take the initiative. Lead him, guide him. If he really likes you, he'll listen. He'll change a little bit. It's true.
Somebody that walked into that dealership who showed interest in the car bought one.
No, exactly.
So do they get to treat you like that because the last person didn't buy? See, you guys got to start thinking about men as buyers. Does it make more sense that way? I mean, does it make sense? You're over here laughing. You don't say what
I
you.
just bought my car, so this is a very
buying,
recent.
so.
This is a very recent experience for me.
We are buying you. We're buying you. We are buying you.
Now, that's
Oh,
Well, what's it? Okay.
so we're buying you, like. No,
Okay.
I
when
understand
you
the
go on
analogy
a job
though. But I
interview,
understand the
though,
analogy.
when you're interviewing for like a job, and you don't have
She's
to
saying
say,
she don't like that analogy. Hold on, I'll go back because the girl in the pink actually can talk pretty good. Girl in the yellow is like, when you put in that analogy, you're making it sound like we're just objects. Shut the fuck up. Look, we're not saying it literally. It's not literally fucking buying you like a fucking slave. Shut the fuck up. It's simply to fucking articulate an example here. God damn. That's the type of woman that motherfuckers that are making a lot of money because they have a lot of responsibilities don't want to deal with that shit. That's confrontational. That's uncooperative. God, like, chill out. And I understand. Here's the deal. A lot of women are like, but that's how I feel. That's, you should think about that. There's women have to face so much trauma out here. Duh, we fucking know it. Goddamn. We're not going to do that. I'm not doing that. Am I doing that? Have I fucking ran sex trafficking rings? Have I fucking beat a woman? Have I done that? And it's like women treat some men the same too. Like, y'all act like we just don't give a fuck about women. Y'all act like that we're out here publicly going out to the Kroger and, hey, you're fat as fuck. You need to get on the gym. Like, passing by women and saying some shit like that. Like, it's like, the fuck? No, we're not doing that shit. Men are silent. We're vocal. A lot of this shit is vocal on the internet because in public we can't say this shit. Can't say this shit in public. You kidding me? Come on.
When you're interviewing for like a job, and you know how they say like in interviewing one-on-one, you have to sell yourself to that company. So it's like that. Like,
But
like
do
that.
you sell yourself to the men? I mean, have you ever really went after a job you wanted and you followed up?
This
with
is a
emails
bare
and phone
surface
calls and all that
question.
kind
It's
of
a
stuff?
surface level question.
Absolutely.
Okay. Have you
Do
ever
I
done that with a
follow up
man?
with guys? Sometimes I do, but
Nope.
I want
Sometime-
them to.
So
Okay,
so,
I want them to
so
follow,
you
show
want,
just as much
so
pressure
you-
as I am.
So you want men to pursue you, but then you pursue what you want.
I will pursue them back,
Back.
not too much.
Back.
Like-
Right. It's bullshit. So the company has a job. They ain't pursuing you. They've just put up a post and wait for you to apply. The car dealership has a car to sell. They don't care if they ain't making a phone call and say, hey, guess what? That car is here. They say this car is here, and if you want it, you got to show interest. See, you guys understand how to do this to get what you want. we make room for the fact that maybe you guys just aren't motivated to get what you say.
I think it's kind of a good point, but at the same time, this is surface level. This is very surface level because what he's not talking about is how the women are acting when they actually are entertaining the guys. That's just dating. That's just trying to find, actively pursuing more and more prospects and shit like that. And here's the deal. Fucking Kevin has said out here, like, a man will know if he wants to marry you in the first 2, 3, 4 months. Some do. But it's like, if you operate on that mindset as a woman, if you operate on the mindset of dating these guys and they're wanting to marry you the first 2, 3, 4 months, that guy is usually you need to wonder why he's even wanting to do that. It takes time to get to know somebody. It takes a tremendous amount of time. I'm not saying that you can't just do it. I'm not saying you can't marry young or marry early, date only know the person less than 6 months, but it requires a tremendous amount of research and digging and talking and conversations to really understand what framework, where is that motivation coming from to get married so soon and so urgently. Some of the answers, like, is he insecure? Does he actually need someone to latch onto? Does he draw his strength from being with another person? And so that, because I think about that with women too. But when you are actually entertaining guys, and you actually have some guys that you're entertaining, potential prospects, we don't never hear about that shit. A lot of women drop the ball with that, and they say it's the guy. But what do I know? Hope y'all enjoy that, man. It's your brother Trey with you. Unpopular Opinions, man. I'll see y'all next one.